Good morning. So, 5 years ago, I moved to Edinburgh, and it was just a wonderful couple of years with some not really great times. Mostly, I would say, mostly was because some motherfuckers, landlords, the usual story, rich piece of shit, full of money, they can bribe people in the council and basically makes you live in a very shitty life conditions, everything accepted quietly by the council and the government, because that's how it works. Cheap labor, immigrants moving to another country, they are not complaining because they need money. Landlord knows that. It makes you live like a slave. But we've been educated to accept, to be happy, to be slave. The only difference that they learned a long time ago, they don't need to force you in the enslavement. They realize they can teach you to be a slave and accept that as normality. And to the point, this is the crazy thing, that's why I always say, people are not bad or good. Whatever you vomit inside their brain, they will eventually replicate it, and they will do it. So if you educate kids to work 8-10 hours a day, accepting taxation, accepting all the insane regulations that they thought that to be normal, you will accept it, you will fight for the right to be a slave, and there will no need to force you, because they taught you since you're a baby that is a normal thing. So then there is no need to even hide it. So they can use our money to go to war. They can tell you that while they're making laws to help you, they told you that it's normal that they can have their private jets, they can have their palace, they can have their swimming pool inside the house, they can have their private drivers, they can drive their Ferrari, while people like us has to survive sharing a flat or a house in an awful living condition where you can save money. So you basically work to pay the bills, to buy food, and really saving very little money. And they taught you that that's normal. So we fight for, this politician is better than this politician. At the end of the day, majority of them that are in power are billionaire, trillionaire, or they're millionaire, but they are backed by other billionaires that all they want is that you work hard like a slave and you're old. When you're old, you basically count nothing. And before they would give you like a little treat that was called pension. Now they don't even give you that. So while we are being taught that, to fight each other for a position of work, because they taught us that you are successful if you do a certain job, if you are in a certain position in the corporate ladder, or in whatever job. So we've been taught and we've been made to believe that our life is all about our job. So we work hard. We won't protest because we've been made to believe that we need a job, we need to pay tax. If we don't have it, we won't have food, we won't have heat, we wouldn't have nothing. So we don't have the time, the energy to even questioning if all of this is normal. And on top of it, we like compete and fight and sometimes kill each other to just be basically a bit on higher, higher position, basically of orders. And when at the end of the day, all we do, all of us, from the worker to the manager or the CEO, is eating a lot of shit, because that's what we do. And then they have they even plan properly, because then there is they created a school system for who is already been decided there's gonna be on top of us to direct us, to decide what we have to do, how to have to work, so that they're gonna be always a class of people that will be educated to basically manage us as like slave managers, that to manage the slaves, and the one at the very top that created all this fucked up system, enjoying their life. So that's to go back to the reason why I had this quite few issue in various accommodation in Edinburgh. Apart there, Edinburgh and Scotland was wonderful. Beautiful and landscape. It's magical. I always say there's something up there. It's magic. There's something in there, something in the landscape. There's something, an energy that is magical. Everybody always, kind of like stop to the weather conditions. And yeah, the weather is shit, but who cares? Scotland is amazing. It's a beautiful land. Edinburgh, where I lived for 2 years, a beautiful city with a wonderful community. And I enjoy like my walks on the sea, on the hills, by the river, walking through the farmlands. It was great, and basically the story is about Christmas Day. So I don't care about Christmas or all those stupid made up celebration that are basically whatever it was the original reason behind that is now basically just to give to us the slave a day to celebrate, thinking that a month, a year of time off is more, it's enough, and we're happy, celebrate. But then what we do is like they created like basically a consumeristic celebration, so that all the little money left, the little money that they made you save, you can fuck it up buying stupid things, getting drunk during Christmas or any other celebration, and go and buy stupid gifts that are pointless to people that most of them don't give a shit about it. And you buy the jumper, the trouser, all those bullshit that you take and throw away, then buy again and throw away, in the most like sad consumeristic lifestyle. So I mean, normally I don't celebrate. Obviously, if people invite me for drinks, food, it's okay. Like I don't buy that bullshit like buying stuff and gifts. So I don't care. But then it's nice to meet people and stay together. So stay with the community, stay with other people, human interactions. So a friend was coming to Edinburgh from London, and so I thought, okay, and at the same time, I'm a good friend of mine up there, asked me to spend some time together. So I thought, why not going and exploring some of Edinburgh, some of Scotland. So my friend, suggested to go to St. Andrews. That's a beautiful, beautiful village. I feel like in the literally in the middle of nowhere. Like it's like when you are there, it feels like it's the only place in the world. Nothing else exists. And and I wrote about it. It reminds me about a beautiful movie that is an Italian movie that is basically based on is based on a book wrote by an Italian writer. That was then the book was the inspiration as well from for the same writer to then start a famous comic that's still going now. Like I saw still they are still making episodes. Actually, next time I go back to it, I'm gonna buy one, and it's called Dylan Dog. The story is based in London, where and this is and he's a private detective, but is a private detective for the paranormal. So he's hired to investigate ghosts, spirits, and so on. So, but the movie that was, you know, created after the book is called The Cemetery Man. And this, long story short, this is the story of this guy that is the guardian of the cemetery in this village in Italy called Buffalora. And you know, basically, his job is to look after the cemetery. The only problem is that the dead come back to life, and the only way to get them dead permanently is to shoot them in the head, so they become zombie after 7 days. They die. So things, you know, goes crazy, and the main character basically loses completely his mind, and he start to basically at some point start to kill all the people in the village. And finally, he decides that it's time to leave. He wants to leave this crazy town. And with his assistant, that is a guy with mental health issue, they take the car and drive away from the town. So at the end of the movie, you know, they go through a tunnel, and when they came out of it, they realize there is no more road. Basically, the road ends. There is a massive valley of mountain and green. There is nothing more, nothing else. There is no more towns, nothing. They realize that literally Buffalora is a town, the only existing town in the entire world. There is nothing more. There is no more people, nothing. So the main character is about to kill himself and end this madness. But his assistant, that until that moment couldn't talk, you know, perfectly. He speaks perfectly, and he tells him like to go back home. So he doesn't kill himself, and they take the car, and then they go back home, and the movie ends. So St. Andrews, it did remind me like about that, because like in the movie there is only one road to get to the town, and it's the only one, and to get to the town you basically go for miles, where you are surrounded by just land, farmland, and nothing more, until all of a sudden you see in the distance this town by the sea with this only road going through. So we basically, like, that's what we done in that day. You know, my friend came to pick us up with her car. The car was a shitty car, like honestly, fucking shit. I was afraid for my own life. Like the tire was like not even fully blew up. Like they were not even they were a bit like not flat, but we were there. And so every time we took a curve, you could feel the car like kind of like not really holding the road. The car was like basically cracking everywhere. There was strange sounds all around. It was like I would say like for the I was feeling worried honestly, just that the car could just basically blow up while driving, or that we would end up in some like out of the road or car accident just because of the car was crap. But that added something to that kind of like adventure after that day. So my friend came to pick us up. We start to drive, and and already like all the scenery was already magical. Like there's winter, the light up there in Scotland. It's kind of like strange. I'm gonna say it's quite dim. It's like less strong than you have down here in England, in the south of England. So you have like I would say, yeah, the best way to say it is like a less strong light. That I don't know how to explain it, but it just gives this is different lighting. I would say that's the best way I can say. It's a different lighting, I guess, because of the position where Scotland is up north. But that it gives even more magical and out of this world like a feeling. So we drove, and we arrived in St. Andrews. And St. Andrews is beautiful because basically you have this town on basically by the sea, farmland, a bit of hills on the other side, but it's basically the town. It forms like a circle. So it's like a circle with the road going through, the sea on one side, and then the farms on the other side. So it's paysagistically it's wonderful, and it's peaceful. There is a famous university, like the basically apparently the third oldest like university in UK, and something like about Europe is like something really old there, like a really old, even like in all Europe. But so it's quite famous. So a lot of rich spoiled kids go there. So basically, like is this what we were talking earlier? Is a school that teach the elite to manage the slaves. So that's what basically is. It's basically that's what it is, St. Andrews University. Because obviously, kids of the working class, they will not be able to afford to go and study there. They will go to university, teach them to become the workers. So, but anyway, yeah, the day was wonderful. We sightseeing the town. There was no one. It was so like it gave even like more this feeling of being the only town in the world, because everyone, the students was away. Obviously, all the families were at home eating and drinking probably, and so there was no one in the street. We were the only ones, and maybe we saw other two. So but even there, it gave to that town an out of worldly feeling. So we enjoyed like walking, visiting this, like seeing, relaxing, and just enjoy the peace and the beauty of the town. So on the well, like in the afternoon late, we drove back to my friend's house. That is a town 40 minutes by train from Edinburgh. It's called Cracovia, and then we had something a bit less magical and less out of this world. It was just eating and drinking, but like the day was great. The day was great because it was just they call it simple. People call it simple life, But that's not simple. That is the richest thing you can ever earn in life. Time off, time with your friends, exploring new places, laughs, food. There was very little money involved. There was so much interaction and community. And the day was the richest day you could ever have in life. But they made us believe that that's not enough. That's not enough to go through life like this. You need to buy this, you need to buy this, you need to buy all the bullshit, because that's how we literally enslaved away. We accept our life conditions because we've been told that we need those things we don't, so that we basically reach the point where we think this is normal. That's the point. Like, that's why this is the point. That's why, like, people, which is people fault. There is no people fault. There is something going on in this world that I don't know when it started, I don't know how it started, and I don't know why it is into place, where we've been taught to basically compete, to make more money, because they thought that the money is all about life, to buy things, and if we can, obviously, automatically we will feel bad, and to basically not having enough, so to survive, so that you feel bad, to working so hard that you're so tired at the end of the day, you cannot enjoy your friends, you cannot enjoy your family, you cannot enjoy your kids, and you feel bad. So this system, I was born, that we were born, it's created to make you feel bad, to make you feel sad, tired, make you feel shit all the time. Now, why? Why is this? Because obviously I refuse to believe that I fucking exist to just buy shit, or that I exist because I need to become a fucking CEO, or that I exist because I need a status. This is bullshit. Of course it's fucking bullshit, but why? Who is really, what is that those people gain from us suffering all the time? Are they like us, unaware, and they've been told that they need more, so they are, like, by default they need a society of slaves so that they can have all the benefit and maintain it? Or there are entity above all of us that feed with our low energies? That is possible, obviously. So it makes sense that the system is created to make us feel shit, so that our lower energy can feed those entities. But even if our entire existence is just for those entities, so that they can feed, they can eat our lower energy, if it is, like many says, well, even, I think even those entities, they have something, or some entity above them that created them. Like all of this is making less and less, more I deep into it, and less sense it makes. Like, if God, that is this supreme entity that is on top of everything, is already everything, already knows everything, that's why I was able to create this. So it doesn't need to learn anything from us. It doesn't need friends. It doesn't need anything because it's already all. So it doesn't make sense to me that there is the need for us to become godlike. For what? Why? Why we've been put in here in this into in the first place? God, I feel strongly, doesn't need the companionship or friendship. Doesn't need other gods like it. So why we exist? So I can answer. I can't. That's why. But while I'm asking those questions, I'm, automatically, I can't take seriously all this bullshit that they put in front of us, making us believe that the life is all about this. Go to school to teach basically to be a slave, so that you wanna go work until you don't have any more energy, and in the meantime, all you're gonna do is gonna be suffering, because all the system they created, they made us to believe that we need to achieve something that is very, it's hard to achieve. So you suffer because all you know is that you need to achieve that to feel something. And if you're not, automatically you're excluded by the system. And because all we've been taught is to be part of the system, so if you're not part of the system, you suffer. So you want to be part of the system. So I refuse to believe that this is what this existence that I was put into it without asking, I believe, is all about this. And I want you to think about it as well, because you need to think about this. You have to think about it. What we are and why we have been made into a system that all it wants is to make us suffer. Ask this question to yourself.